Good morning. I'm Cheryl Casoni. I'm in for Marie Bartiromo. It is Monday. It is April 6th. It's 8 a.m. on the East Coast. Time for the hot topic of the hour. A senior Israeli official telling Fox News' Trey Yingst, the head of intelligence for the IRGC, has been killed. And at the same time, another commander of a special operations unit was taken out. Meanwhile, the daring rescue of a seriously wounded airman is being hailed as a success story. The U.S. military saving the second airman of the F-15 jet shot down in Iran over the weekend. That crew member surviving for almost 48 hours behind enemy lines and climbing over 7,000 feet to hide in a mountain crevice. The airman activating an emergency beacon armed with only a pistol for survival. That pilot was recovered on Friday. Now, the president is calling the rescue an Easter miracle. After writing on Truth Social, "We got him, and we will never leave an American warfighter behind." Senior administration officials telling Fox the CIA deflected enemy attention with a deception campaign, spreading false word in Iran that U.S. forces had found the second airman in order to buy time. Meanwhile, U.S. Central Command still striking Iran as President Trump warns Iran, make a deal in 48 hours or, quote, we're blowing up the whole country. The president saying Tuesday will be power plant and bridge day, while warning seriously to reopen the Strait. President Trump teasing the Tuesday at 8 p.m. ultimatum deadline on Truth Social. Wall Street Journal is reporting this morning that the U.S. and regional mediators are pushing for a 45-day ceasefire that could lead to a permanent end to the Iran conflict. President Trump also writing on Truth Social he's going to be speaking to the press from the briefing room today, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Jonathan, a lot of news to go through. You know, the president also spoke with the Journal last night, and he's talking around. He goes, if they don't come through, if they want to keep it closed, meaning the Strait, they're going to lose every power plant and every other plant they have in the whole country. This is about the Strait, and he's ready to go.
I wouldn't want to be them and trying to call President Trump's bluff on this thing. And I think it's interesting. I think one of the points from one of his earlier tweets or Truth Social post was when he talks about not leaving anyone behind. It's not just a slogan. It really means something not only to him, but also members of the military. And I think if you're on the Iranian position when it's like another top leader was just killed, they have to be looking at this with some clear eyes that they need to find a way to get out of this. And I think in many respects, they're just simply trying to save face and get out of this, because who's going to want to interview for the next job as head of anything in Iran? It's going to be, oh, the last 3 people were killed. So it's going to be a real morale devastation for them. Morale for the U.S. is great after this. And it just shows the power of our military and how we basically do whatever we want in Iran right now.
Ryan, your thoughts on all of this, of course, as we watch the energy markets. This is all about the Strait of Hormuz. This isn't just about oil and nat gas. This is about the global economy. You know, 5 weeks ago, this is now 6 weeks ago, you had so many market analysts worried about a global recession. I don't know if we're there yet, but we are moving into week 6 of this conflict.
We are, and I think what's remarkable about it is the fact that capital markets have held up relatively well here. And in fact, you know, if you look at since President Trump mentioned that they may strike infrastructure, if you look at the betting markets, they put it at like 60%. So the odds of that happening are realistic if Iran does not come to the table here and some deal is not figured out in short order. So I think bottom line here is what markets are anticipating is at the very, maybe long end, this does last a couple more weeks, and that's what President Trump said on Wednesday. And if you look at the fact that I mentioned this earlier on the show, but 10-year Treasury, it's contained. You've really been around like 4.3, 4.4%. That's not crazy. You're not seeing a big spike there. And if you start looking at fundamentals, if you look at earnings, analysts have actually been increasing their earnings over the course of the last month or so. So we're looking to have a pretty strong earnings season as well. So I think markets are telling you this is going to get resolved. And I think, I would take Trump at his word here. Look at those betting markets.
Well, sure. And you're talking about the earnings estimates. But to your point, we're going to hear from Delta Airlines this week. That's going to be interesting because they're going to be talking about jet fuel. I mean, there's all these other, strings that are, of course, hitting the U.S. economy. But, Jonathan, putting back to the Middle East here for a second, what do you make of the fact that officials from the UAE are saying that they will join with the United States if there's some type of military action or some action, whatever that is, to open up the strait. I mean, our Gulf partners they're the ones that are still taking attacks, whether you're in Bahrain, whether you're Qatar, the UAE. You know, the Iranians are still throwing missiles at them and still hitting key energy infrastructure facilities of our partners.
Well, I think it's great that they're willing to join in military, albeit it is in their own interests, but it does show that the partnership that President Trump has built with these Gulf states is strong, and I think it will really carry over to leading to a solution on this, because eventually the Strait of Hormuz will be opened, and if we have to do it with a lot more military action, it's going to happen. But I think having other people on board, again, sends a stronger message to Iran that they're not going to be able to pull this off and continue to be a bully in the Middle East.
Yeah, Ryan, again, the other component of this is Russia. You know, OPEC Plus saying that they're going to increase production. The Russians are effectively benefiting from high oil prices. You know, Brent's at 108. You've got WTI in this country that's at 110. These are high, elevated prices.
100%. And Jonathan, you just said self-interest. Like every country, every superpower, like China, Europe, everybody needs the strait open. The only country that's benefiting from the fact that this strait is basically, for all intents and purposes, closed is Russia, right? They're benefiting from the higher oil prices. What says to me the strait has to get open, and the fact that you have literally every superpower in the world that needs that to happen makes me think it's going to happen.
Well, and look, domestic gas prices, I mean, look, we're at $4.12 right now. That's today's average. We're at $4.11 yesterday, Jonathan. So that, I think, does add a sense of political pressure on the administration. Final word.
Yeah, it certainly does, because that's one of the prices that everyone notices for whatever reason. When you're filling up your car, you're just looking at that price. And, we filled up our SUV recently, and when it gets to $100, for some reason that really resonates with people. So I think it's important. President Trump knows this. We need to get oil prices back down, and hopefully the futures market, like Ryan talked about, are right. They'll be down to the $70, $80 a barrel number, and then we'll be back under $3 a gallon, hopefully this summer.
Oh, and we're going to hear from President Trump himself, 1 p.m. Eastern time, from the briefing room. Markets are going to be watching those comments from the president.